What do you say to the fan who gave you back your 600th ball?
That was really cool. I got in the bag over there, so Mike gave it away. He goes, man, I'm sorry, man. I get it. I said, sorry. I'm sure they'll figure out a way to get it back. But I don't actually keep too many things. So in that circumstance, I felt like that might be a good one to keep.
I think that fan needed better representation because the first Tom Brady touchdown pass, that ball, a touchdown thrown to Terry Glenn back in 2001 against the Chargers, went for $425,000 earlier this year. I think a T-shirt or whatever he got, a Brady jersey. I think he should have negotiated a little bit differently because that was his. Possession is 9/10 of the law, Mike. I don't know that I would have given that thing back. Like, this is a $500,000 football in my hands, pal. Sorry. No, you got to do better. You got to do better. That's not enough. Oh, well. The fan, quote unquote, did the right thing. His family may disagree.
It reminds me of I'll date myself, watching Everybody Loves Raymond and Frank Barone keeping the field goal that the kicker kicked in the college game and tried to ransom it for $10,000. I mean, I'm the other way. I just, maybe it's because I played and I don't know, but I couldn't do it. I would just want to give it back to them. If they wanted to offer me $500,000 for it, I wouldn't turn it down. I would first try and do that. No, you really don't have to. But if you want to, okay. But I would want to give it back. I mean, but man, we're running out of stuff with Tom Brady, aren't we? I mean, it's ridiculous what he is accumulating, and he is Benjamin Button because he just looks younger and younger.
And by the way, that first touchdown pass did end up in the stands, and a fan had it for years. And finally decided to sell it and got $425,000 for it. So
wow.
I don't know. Oh. All I know is the dude who got the ball yesterday should have given a phone call to Saul Goodman or someone like that to get some advice before he gave the football back. All right, superlatives time. Mike, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to start first by changing the name of it to Tom Brady time. He's the superlative of all time, so maybe the award should be named after him. But my first one is JaMarr Chase. I mean, rookies, and I'm going to have another rookie involved in a little bit, but these rookies are unbelievable. What JaMarr Chase did yesterday and what he's been doing with Joe Burrow over the last few years has been incredible. 8 catches, 201 yards, broke the rookie receiving for yardage in a game record that was held since 1969 for the Cincinnati Bengals. I mean, that is just impressive. And he mentioned it. It's about yak. It's about yards after the catch and what he's able to do and the tackles he broke on that 82-yard touchdown. Now, you can kind of look at Baltimore and say, you got to tackle a little better and do a better job and wrap up. But he's still, for some reason, making players miss because he's that good. I love the conversation about the back shoulder throws as well and how much you have to work on them. And they've been working on them since college. So, and how well they can, because you can be covered incredibly well, but if it's a perfect back shoulder throw, you're going to get the completion. 35 catches on the air. He's averaging over 21 yards a catch. And oh, by the way, he leads the league. I think now he has 6 40-plus receptions. I mean, when you say big play receiver, his name is right in pictures right next to that right now at such a young age. It's incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. And it just makes that rough start that he had in the preseason even more compelling. But he told me a few weeks ago, when you're just in the game for a little bit, it's harder to focus. And he had to teach himself that you got to focus on every opportunity, even if you're just in for a few snaps. You got to stay focused at all times. And he learned a valuable lesson, and he looks pretty focused every week. Now, My first one is maybe we didn't need John Gruden after all. And, I say that slightly tongue-in-cheek, but look at how the Raiders have responded to the resignation of John Gruden. And I'm reminded of Chris Sims, who told me when he was playing for Gruden in Tampa, he loved playing in the games because he didn't have to listen to Gruden in practice. And now Derek Carr doesn't have to listen to Gruden at all. And maybe he had just enough Gruden influence that you have Gruden teach him, but then you take Gruden out of the mix and the guy reaches a higher level because dealing with Gruden just wears him down. But Derek Carr has become the voice of that team. That's what Rich Bisaccia said after yesterday's win over the Eagles. They're 2-0 since Gruden resigned. I'm impressed with what the Raiders are doing, and they're at 5-2. They're right up there at the top of the conference with everyone else.
It has been incredible, and early on doing it without a running game. Another team that revamped their offensive line. Josh Jacobs had been out missing time early, so they had been doing it all on the arm of Derek Carr and some defense as well. They start to incorporate a running game that will make them that much better. But to your point, going kind of off the X's and O's of just the state of the team without John Gruden, and it'll help. It will hurt some players, who he had a good relationship with, and he's there because of them, and it will help some players. But and Derek Carr was already having a pretty darn good year, but hey, if it helps somebody a little more in a position like that, it's going to help the team overall. I'm with you, though. What a team to keep an eye on is if they start to do really, really well in coinciding when Gruden leaving, that is going to be very, very interesting. All right, my next superlative is I never knew there was a National Tight End Day. Never in my life. Yet there is, and it was yesterday. And this is where I'm going to another rookie, Kyle Pitts, the kid out of Florida, the rookie tight end. They were putting up all the stats of the tight ends, and Kyle Pitts, the rookie, was right at the top. 7 catches, 163 yards, a little over 23 yards a catch. Another one that does a great job after catching the ball. This guy is the tight end of the NFL now. On one play, split out wide like a wide receiver with Xavier Howard, their best cover corner, covering him. That's who you have covering you because you're wide out like a wide receiver. So you're attached, you're in the slot, you're out like a wide receiver, and you're taller than everybody else. So when in doubt, and Matt Ryan certainly knows this, throw it up, and my guy is going to get it. 31 catches out of the air, averaging over 15 yards a catch, 23 in this game, but 15 yards a catch overall. Again, for a tight end who, do you really call a tight end? He's more like a wide receiver. It's like a slashy wide receiver and tight end, and it is something to watch. And I think more and more, he has, like I said, 31 catches now, but I think Matt Ryan is going to get to him more and more as this season goes on.
Yeah, it took him a little while to get to where he is, but he's incredible now, and he's living up to that high billing because the praise was over the top for him. He was viewed as less of a risk than JaMarr Chase even, but Chase hit the ground running. Pitts is catching up quickly. Next one for me is they put the green in Green Bay. I love the Green Bay throwbacks, and I think they should consider – now, I know that the G on the side of the helmet is sacred. I know, but – it just that green on green look, and the yellow helmet looks like the cheese head that the fans wear. Maybe we can just put like little holes, like little decal holes on it or something to make it a cheese head. I don't know, but so many times we see these alternate uniforms that teams come up with, and they're cringeworthy. These are some of the best I've seen. That I know they're a throwback to the 50s, but I don't think the green popped like that back in the 50s. It definitely didn't pop on the black and white Zeniths of the 50s. That's for damn sure. It popped on our high-def monitors yesterday.
It really did. Listen, I love, people are always, I know, rate them, I hate them, ugly or not. I dig when you try out different uniforms, especially the throwbacks. I just love all that stuff. And I think players do for the most part. I think stylish players sometimes may not if they feel it's ugly, and big fat linemen may not like it if it makes their gut protrude more than it really should. Other than that, and believe me, linemen know that. They're in the front of the mirror trying to tuck that shirt in a way where it doesn't make their gut look bad.
No white jerseys.
It's exactly right. And you can do it all you want before the game, but when you're out in the middle of the game, breathing and tired, and your gut starts to hang, all of a sudden it doesn't look so good. But yeah, I am definitely a fan of those throwbacks, no doubt about it. My third superlative is it was Orlando Apollo Alumni Day on Thursday night in Cleveland. And everyone, I'm sure, is saying, what? The Alliance of American Football, the Orlando Apollos, one of their running backs was Ernest Johnson, who ran for 146 yards Thursday night for the Cleveland Browns in their win over the Denver Broncos. Baker Mayfield was out. Nick Chubb was out. Kareem Hunt was out. Other players were out. Third string running back. How is he going to do with the top running team in the league? didn't miss a beat. Again, he goes for 146. They rushed for over what their game average was. So good, certainly credit to the O-line as well. But here's a guy, I love these stories, Mike, a guy who nobody really knows about, unless you're obviously in that locker room. You certainly know who the hell he is, but fans don't know who he is. It's a third-string running back. You don't expect it at all, and he has the game of his life. Had a couple of catches out of the backfield as well, had over 160 yards of total offense. Maybe the key, though, is they're holding on to a 3-point lead. There's 5 minutes and 17 seconds left in the game. That's when you want your 4-minute offense to go into play and run the clock out. It's exactly what the Browns did. They ran the clock out, 10 plays. 8 of them, I believe, were runs to Ernest Johnson. So this guy just had his chance, took control of the situation, and had a monster game. Listen, those other two backs, Chubb and Hunt, when they're back, they're going to play. But Johnson opened up some eyes because all the talk in Cleveland after the game was, boy, if Cleveland doesn't hang on to him, what other team is going to go after him? But kudos to him. You play wherever you have to get film, to be in the NFL. It worked out for him. He got his chance, and he made the most of it.
Yeah, and we talked on Friday about how he sent direct messages to all of the AAF team Twitter accounts to try to get their attention, and he got their attention. And the Orlando Apollos, the unofficial champions of the only season of the AAF.
Yeah.
And I think Steve Spurrier actually had a ring made for that. I don't know if he distributed them to all the players. I don't know if D'Ernest Johnson has one, but he's got a bigger ring in mind. And, we got to give the blocking credit, but his vision was great. He showed great burst, speed, everything, and incredible night for him, and they're in good shape, even if they don't have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. Last one for me, real quickly, the Kitchen Sink and Then Some Award. I got to give Dan Campbell credit for throwing everything he had at the LA Rams. It didn't work. It almost did, and it really threw the Rams off, from the onside kicks to multiple fake punts, going for it on fourth down. I thought they lined up for a field goal at one point. Just fake that too. They're not going to see it coming. Another kickoff, kick another onside. They're not going to see it coming. The last thing they expect is another one. But, even though they lost, they avoided being blown off the field, and I think that was their main objective. And they rattled the Rams, forced the Rams to play all 60 minutes. The wins, I think, will come eventually for the Lions, but I respect how they went about trying to get it done yesterday, Mike.
I completely agree. And, it's one of those where people say, oh, they have to try and use trickeration to win these games. Well, players see what's going on. They're getting beat by these teams, so why not try things? And players love that. Players, man, when you work on that stuff, an onside kick or a fake punt or a fake for whatever in practice, and you have a ball with it, and then when you get to run it in the game, I'm telling you, players get excited. So excited they have to hold themselves at bay, because one of the big things is you don't want any tells at all that you're going to do something like that, because you want it to be a surprise. But players love it. So I'm with you. Credit for Dan Campbell to try and pull it all out of the bag to get that win.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.